Hey everyone, before we start this video, one note that I want to make is I am currently working out of Winfield, Kansas. I forgot to mention where I'm currently located. And right now a lot of the work that I'm getting locally is these farm trucks or trucks with high mileage that are used to check fields. Just getting from point A to point B, definitely not any luxurious capacity. These trucks are covered in mud. So we'll open up the doors and take a look at what's inside. Alright, well today we've got a 1992 GMC Sierra 1500 SLE four-wheel drive in the shop. This is definitely a farm truck. It's been sitting for a little while. Like I said, this is a farm truck. You can definitely see the nests from this vehicle sitting. He's not looking to get it in perfect condition. He just wants to get it running and reliable, go and stop. So it rolled off the truck and it came to a stop, so that's a good start. But it doesn't sound very good when it runs. That oil looks a little milky. Could just be from sitting for a while. And let's continue around the rest of the truck. Taking a look inside the radiator. I'm not seeing any fluid in there. Everything looks pretty dry. So we'll have to top off the coolant for sure. Let's take a look inside the reservoir here. And it looks like there's a little bit of water down in there. Looking down in that reservoir. That looks pretty dry to me. The other thing we're going to take a look at while we're under here is the clutch fluid reservoir. Oh, that definitely has fluid in it. Pretty dark, but it's got fluid in it. It's definitely due for a clutch fluid change. Serpentine belt looks to be in decent condition, so it looks like that may have been replaced maybe around the time the alternator was replaced or something else. This is also still an R12 system. I'm guessing he's probably not too worried about the AC system working. We'll pull off the air filter cover, take a look at the air filter. Alright, air filter definitely looks to be used, but looks like it could still run. We'll see if he wants to replace it or not. So if you're curious about the outfit that I'm wearing today, it is definitely a hot one out here. I'm in a tank top, shorts, and I also make sure to wear some knee pads. This is something that I picked up after spending a lot of summers in salvage yards. Whenever I'm out there in the gravel, I don't want to kneel down on my knees, whether I'm in pants or in shorts. So I started wearing knee pads, and it's been a real lifesaver. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get underneath this vehicle. We've got our safety glasses on, and anytime I'm dealing with the farm truck, anything like this, always make sure to have some heavy duty gloves on. Oil pan and front crank seal look like they're nice and dry, so that's good to see. Coolant hose looks dry, don't see it leaking anywhere. I'm not seeing any remnants, any residue from a radiator leak. So far so good. Let's take a look at the CV boots. CV boots are cracked. Not too big of a deal. Doesn't look like they're leaking anything just yet. Other side CV boot. Looks to be nice and dry. Ball joint cracked. Probably is due for some lubricant. Upper control arm bushing is intact. Struts definitely look like they've been on there for quite a while. Steering rack is dry, but the boots are definitely got some years on them. Probably due for some lube. Front axle, front diff. Everything looks nice and dry that I can see. Oh, front drive shaft is disconnected for some reason, so this is just a two-wheel drive version. A little bit of a leak. That one looks to be the oil filter housing. Those two bolts, looks like there's a big O-ring that sits up there that's leaking. This side, CV boots look to be intact. This side, CV boots look to be intact. Same story over here. Definitely not in terrible condition. Maybe a little bit of a rear main drip. That could also be some residual from the oil filter housing blowing back. Custom inspection plate for the clutch master cylinder. Next thing I'm going to do is pull the fill plug for the transmission. Take a look and see what the condition of the fluid is inside of here. That magnet's definitely picked up some debris. Now let's take a look and see what kind of condition the fluid is in. Now all I've got here is a zip tie with a 90-degree bend in it. Just to put in here, pull it back out. Looks to be a nice gold color, doesn't look to be too burnt. Definitely looks like it's got some miles on it. Go ahead and put that fill plug back in. Taking a look at the exhaust. All three bolts there are intact. Oh, yeah, that one's definitely got a bit of a gap there. So my guess is he's probably gonna have a pretty good exhaust leak. Looks like you can see a little bit of the charring from the exhaust gases coming out. So I bet it sounds nice and loud. Taking a look back here, wiring. A couple of them got chewed off. Rest of the exhaust, I'm not seeing any major leaks. Transfer case. Definitely looks like it's seen a lot of mud. Like I said, that front output shaft is disconnected. Looks like we got a little bit of oil coming from that output shaft seal. Looks like somebody tried to replace it and just kind of left the ding marks in it. Maybe pulled it out and just put some RTV on it. Going back, taking a look at the fuel tank straps. Fuel tank straps are nice and secure. U-joints seem to be nice and tight, still in decent condition. That exhaust pipe just rusted off, so that's probably a little bit of noise as well. And again, looking at these frame rails, they're in a lot better condition than I've seen on some trucks. Let's go back, take a look at the rear diff. Rear diff's nice and dry. All right, so while we've got this wheel up in there, let's take a look in here. Definitely looks like we've still got some life left on those brake pads. Using my handy gauges here. There's about 6 millimeters left on those brake pads, so about 50% life remaining. So he's definitely still good on front brake pads. After having taken a look underneath, looks like everything's in decent condition. Structurally speaking, it looks nice and sound, nice and solid frames, nothing's rusted out too terribly. So let's hop in it, see if we can get it started. 234,000 miles on this truck. See if she starts. Ooh, so definitely got a starter problem. Let's see if we can bump it. All right, seems to be running all right. Oil pressure gauge is off the charts. We'll have to see if coolant temperature works or not. Service engine soon light is on. All right, so not too bad. Parking brake light is permanently on. That could be just an adjustment of the pedal because it's definitely a little floppy here. Not too big of a deal. Service engine soon light is on, but seems to be up and running. Definitely needs to have the starter rebuilt or replaced. We'll see what the owner wants to do. All right, while we're in here, let's test some of the interior functions. Turn signal. Looks like maybe we got some bulbs out. Radio doesn't work, AC doesn't work, no, or at least no power to them. Another thing let's check is let's check to see if these windows work. Hey! Definitely needs a little bit of help. Let's try this one. No, that one sounds like it's completely off the track. Maybe the regulator's totally busted. Let's see if we can help get this window up. All right, so I've got my list together for this 1992 GMC 1500. First and most important thing I'd say for this truck is to go ahead and get that starter rebuilt and replaced. Going through, changing out some of those fluids. I'd also recommend going ahead and doing a brake fluid flush. And I also recommended replacing the rear brake shoes and the rear brake calipers. I know from experience that trying to do these trucks, these farm trucks with those rear brake calipers, if they get a lot of mud on them, they can rust really easily and they just become a big pain. So I recommended rear brake pads and calipers for this vehicle. He says he's never had them done. So we'll get some prices together for these items that I think are most important, and we'll go from there, see what he wants to do. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm very grateful to have so many of you tuning into these videos, and I can't wait to make more videos for all of you. Thank you for watching.